With youth sports participation rates slowly rising back up, a new generation of young athletes will experience both the pros and cons of youth sports. It is clear that sports and competition in general can have various effects on the participants' mental health. When discussing sports and competition with a group, there are usually various opinions on whether sports and exercise are beneficial to young athletes. It is obvious that exercise, sports, and competition can have both very positive effects on young athletes and, on the other hand, very negative effects. Exploring both the positive and negative effects of physical activity and competition in sports is key for athletes to understand and create a balance in their life. To create a good balance in a teenage athlete's life, the athlete must understand the negative effects that sports can have on their mental health. Too much of anything is bad, and especially when it comes to sports and training. Overtraining is described as an excessive amount of intense training in a specific sport or exercise. Overtraining can lead to burnout and extreme stress in young athletes. Many young athletes describe it as a feeling of a fun hobby turning into a full-time job. Oftentimes, this is caused by overcompetitive parents or coaches trying to push their kid to the next level. Many times, this completely takes the fun out of the sport, leaving the young athlete completely burnt out on it. Symptoms of overtrained athletes include mood swings, loss of appetite, frequent colds and infections, muscle soreness, elevated resting heartbeat, lack of focus, struggling with performance and training, and sleep issues. Also, overtrained athletes are more prone to heightened levels of anxiety and often get anxiety when just thinking about the outcome of a future competition. Intense competition can cause immense stress that takes a toll on the young athlete's mental health. For many young athletes, the extreme amount of pressure that intense competition brings can be too much to handle, which means for many young athletes, dropping out of their sport and never reaching their full potential. Also, many athletes in contact sports such as football, lacrosse, soccer, hockey often suffer concussions and other head injuries. Many retired football players talk about how their concussions have contributed to mental health problems later in their life. Although sometimes this factor is overlooked, it is still worth considering for many before they make a commitment. On the other hand, many young athletes find sports as an escape from the lulls and hardships of their day-to-day life. The bond formed between teammates can reach off the field or court and lead to a friendship. Not only that, but coaches can be role models and someone to talk to when in need for young athletes. The benefits of exercise and sports do not stop at role models and friendships, though. Team sports can teach young athletes cooperation and how to work with a team to reach a common goal. Also, sports can be extremely helpful for young athletes to build self-confidence and self-image. A boost in self-image and self-confidence can help improve one's mental health, but also building a sense of community to act as a support system can go a long way for a teenage athlete's mental health. Many times, this support system for a teenage athlete is made up of teammates, coaches, and parents. This support system can offer guidance and support to the young teenager when in hard times. Also, the people in the support system can look out for the athlete in case there are signs of burnout or depression. To further my research on how a support system can help teenage athletes improve their mental health, I talked to a youth and family counselor who works with many teenage athletes and their families.
Community and peer support, that leans more towards the enrichment model because it builds kids' sense of community in it. Like so looking at when they're involved in sports and they're involved in things, they're getting community from their parents, from coaches, from friends. And a lot of studies have shown that the more kids who engage in competitive sports, the more friends that they have because they're a part of a team, which absolutely increases their self-esteem and all of those different things.
I also talked to Lucy about how the COVID-19 pandemic shutting down many youth sports programs across the country has impacted teenagers today.
just the kids that I'm working with now, in terms of like that shift from mental health and mental well-being to mental illness has been significant because all of their social interaction has been removed.
Overall, although there are clear positives and negatives to sports for teenagers on their mental health, as long as the athlete can find a balance in their life, they will be able to benefit significantly from sports.